5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, partial clearing is possible at times. Rain likely mainly after midnight. Lows drop to 35. Winds west 5 to 10. Thursday, rain continues. Snow can mix in at times early. Highs approach 50. Thursday night, still a chance for rain mainly before midnight. Lows fall back to 38. And then Friday, partly sunny and highs reach 55. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Now,
the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome back. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on a Wednesday morning. Nice to have you with us. We'll have open phones later on, but we're going to start this hour talking about music and music awards that have been going on for quite some time in the Saginaw area, hosted by the Review Magazine. And to talk about it this morning, the editor and publisher of the Review Magazine is with us. We say good morning to Bob Martin. Bob, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Art. Thanks so much for having me on this morning. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I have to ask two questions right off the top. How old is the Review?
Go ahead.
How old is the Review Magazine itself? How long has it been around?
Well, Art, in April we mark our 43rd anniversary of publishing.
Wow.
Yeah, I started the Review back in 1979. I was 24 years old, and here I am. I mean, you and myself, I can't think of any other journalist that have been around that long.
It is
to be honest.
I mean, it's amazing, and particularly since it's a free publication to people. I mean, that's the amazing part about it. That's the really amazing part about it. And the music. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, people say that, but when I started the Review back at that time, of course, it's changed so much with online and everything, but, the subscriptions and paid publications, that only accounted for maybe less than 10% of their revenue. I mean, most of it was always in advertising.
Right.
So, my whole thought about that was it's better rather than, worry about accounting and nickels and dimes and stuff. So,
yeah. But what's really amazing is it hasn't changed in all those years. I mean, you do it the exact same way.
We still cover it. Well, we have evolved. We've evolved into different sections and formats. Some things we've lost. We used to have that singles-only section, which really helped grow the publication. And, of course, a lot of that migrated online. But, the biggest evolution, as with all media, is online. That's our revenue.
Don't we all know that? Huh?
It's amazing, though, because, people say print is dead, but it really isn't, because many readers and also advertisers, they want a physical product. They want something that they can hold, that's tangible. So, I mean, it has a value for that alone, I think.
Yeah. And the annual music awards, how long they've been going on?
This will be our 35th. And, I'm really excited to be doing it, bringing it back to a live format. Obviously, last year, because of the pandemic, we had to, and at the last minute, too, we had it scheduled, but then we were pushing it, and then people were saying, well, what are you going to do? And I didn't want to wait. So last year, we ended up doing a virtual music awards at the Hamilton Street Pub, where we just shot things into the bands, and I had presenters in, different community leaders, and we announced the nominees and winners, but, there was no acceptance speeches. There were no trophies handed out. It was a totally different animal. So I'm really glad to be able to bring it back to a live format.
Where are you going to be doing it, and when?
We're going to be, it's going to be happening on Sunday, May 16th, and we're doing it at the Vault, which is a new performance venue in Saginaw. It's on Florence. It's a really remarkable facility. They the owner of it, he made a substantial investment in it, and it used to be an old Union Hall, and now it's got like a 32-foot stage, a 68,000-watt sound system. The sound's incredible in there. It's got 6 service bars, 2 levels, and you really fixed it up. I can't honestly think of another venue like it north of Detroit. And he's been doing several tribute shows there. But the great thing about it is they can accommodate up to 750 people. So under the current standards, we can it's big enough that you can keep all the tables distant. And it's kind of a miracle in that sense, because that's about what we really need to hold the thing. You know, we send out about 160 nominations, so we only have about 140 tickets to sell, you know. And that's kind of the way we're going to do it. It'll be great to do it. I think it's going to really make a difference, because the place it's not a bar. It's not like a wedding hall. It's an actual performance venue. So that's kind of exciting.
Now, will you also do this online at the same time?
You know, what we're going to do is we are going to be filming it, and then what I'm going to do is probably, kind of like we did last year, we did the whole thing online, but I'm going to have it edited down into like about a 90-minute highlight, you know, because it's a 4 or 5 hour celebration, you know.
Yeah, I can remember my...
Yeah, you know, we hand out like over 66 trophies in different genres of music, and then we have like 6-7 different performance segments. So, yeah, we're just going to do like after the event, probably a month or so later, we'll just do like the edited highlight.
I can remember many years ago, my son's band was involved, and we went to it, and it was an amazing evening. I mean, you don't realize just how much talent there is floating around this area.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, when I look back over just the 35 years of doing the awards and just the talent that has emanated out of this region, it's pretty astounding, you know. I mean, you know, you go way back, you had jazz legends like Sonny Stitt, you know, but then, you know, more contemporary times, you know, we've had, well, and even Felton Sparks, there used to be, you may remember them, there was this band called Silk, and he was a keyboard player, and he used to do arrangements for Doc Severinsen on The Tonight Show. You know, then later, you know, we had, of course, Larry McCray, you know, he's probably taken over the, you know, baton from other legends like B.B. King, and, you know, they're no longer with us. You know, but he's definitely international. And then, you know, just in the rock genre, you know, you had the Verve Pipe come out of this area in the 90s, and just recently we had Greta Van Fleet. They played at our award ceremony 2 years before anybody knew them.
Yep.
Yep. You know, and you know, that's just the people that have been, you know, achieved, you know, notoriety in terms of international. But I mean, yeah, it's just amazing how fertile the ground is as far as just wonderful new artists that are popping up all the time.
Bob, hang on. I got to take a break here, and then we'll come back and talk a little more. We're talking Bob Martin. He is the editor and publisher of the Review Magazine. The 35th Annual Music Awards Ceremony and Celebration coming up on the 16th of May. We'll tell you more about it when we return. Let's first start out by trying to give away some money on the WSGW Spring into Cash contest. Right now, you could qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following winning word online at WSGW.com. The winning word this hour is play, P-L-A-Y. If you're a musician, you can play music and do it well. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner chosen each day, must be 18 years old to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Spring into Cash on 100.5 and News Radio 790 WSGW. I want to take a moment to tell you about the future, because I've seen it and I've driven it. And the future, whether we like it or not, folks, is going to be in EVs, electric vehicles. And recently, for about a week and a couple of days, I got to drive 2 vehicles from my friends at Thalen, Audi, Mazda, Subaru, Volkswagen in Bay City. I got to drive an Audi e-tron, which is their electric vehicle. I drove the Sportback edition. They also have an SUV edition there. And I did that for a few days, and then I drove a Volkswagen ID4 electric SUV. Both of these were an experience I had not had before. I've driven an electric vehicle before, but only, for maybe 10 minutes just to see what it was like, where I had these to actually drive around town. And because all of the driving was around town and between where I live and Bay City, I really didn't have to charge the vehicles. I had them for 4 days. They came with enough charge to give me over 250 miles. And when I took them back, there was still more than 100 and some odd miles left in reserve on the cars. Fabulous drives, comfortable as you'd expect, quiet, and just it amazed me. I was, I've been hesitant about electric vehicles. That changed my mind. They really, really are wonderful. Stop into Thalen, Audi, Mazda, Subaru, Volkswagen in Bay City, and check out the electric Audis and the electric Volkswagens. And coming soon, although they're starting in California eventually, Mazda has announced they're going to have an electric vehicle too. And really take one out for a ride and then sit down, talk to a Thalen representative, because they can tell you about tax credits and incentives on these electric vehicles that can save you a lot of money. Visit Thalen, Volkswagen, Subaru, Audi, Mazda today on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Find them online at thinkthalen.com. And we will be back with Bob Martin after these notes.
Comfortable inside your home or business. The weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben 596751.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to SpectrumMobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Data usage limits vary by carrier. Spectrum Internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
If you have an unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-305-7083. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-305-7083. 800-305-7083. 800-305-7083. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy?
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street giants are reporting sharply higher profits in banking, trading, and the recovering economy. Goldman Sachs reported a profit of $6.8 billion, even stronger than expected. Also, JP Morgan Chase's earnings were dramatically higher. Both banks were helped by reserve funds that were set up to help them get through the pandemic, but the anticipated flood of bad loans never happened. Wells Fargo's quarter was also stronger than expected. San Francisco-based Coinbase Global, the largest U.S. cryptocurrency exchange, is going public today. It launches its stock on the NASDAQ. Home improvement chain Lowe's is launching a new customers, including a Pro Zone that will make high-demand items more accessible. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean for you. Oh, I'm ready! Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just a click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
How clean is your nose? Most airborne germs and allergens invade through the nose, your body's air filter. It's first line of defense. You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? Did you know there's an easy way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself? It's called Navage. Navage uses powered suction to clean your nose by flushing out pollen, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. Millions use Navage for fast, all-natural relief from sinus congestion and allergies, and to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is easy to use, affordable, and it comes with an absolute guarantee of satisfaction. And 50,000 independent online reviews averaging 4.7 stars show just how much people love their Navage. You wash your hands and brush your teeth every day. Now you can clean your nose and help protect your health with Navage. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E. Make good nasal hygiene. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This pitch Shamize, ground ball to second base, underhand flip from Scope to Castro to first. They turn the 4-6-3 double play. Beautiful. They just got a speedy runner.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Bob Martin, the editor and publisher of the Review magazine, about the 35th Annual Music Awards ceremony and celebration coming up, if I'm correct, May 16th, Bob. Is that what you said?
Yep, Sunday, May 16th.
And it's going to be at the Vault on Florence.
The Vault, yep.
What's it called? I'm sorry, what's it called?
The Vault, V-A-U-L-T.
Vault, yeah. So how do you get the nominations for these awards? You've been doing it so many years. How do you get the bands?
Well, what we do is we start our nomination process in January every year. And we used to do it in the print edition, but now we do it exclusively online. And people have to register to vote. And then once they do that, they can nominate musicians. And we have categories that are open. And then once the nominations close, we'll take the top 5 nominees in each of those divisions and then move them into a final round that people can vote on for the finalists. So that's kind of the way the process works. And what makes it so amazing to me is that we do get an incredible amount of people voting and registering. I mean, you know, we've had up to like 7,000, 8,000 votes cast in this thing. This year, it wasn't as high as it has been in the past, but I attribute part of that to the fact that basically everything was closed down last.
Yeah.
You know, music is an intimate thing. You know, it's in a sense, you know, it's personal contact, and when people are separated and not exposed to as many artists, you know, I think there was an impact there somehow. You know, but I was still really pleased that we, you know, this year we had, I think, a little over 4,000 people voting. And the nominees, you know, like we had like close to 500 different musicians in the area nominated.
Wow.
In some of the divisions, you'll have up to 28, 30 artists. But like I say, only 5 of them make the final round. And then to the ceremony, the night of the awards.
We tend to forget COVID's been tough on a lot of different industries, including the performance industry. These artists haven't had a place to perform.
Yeah. No, it's, you know, and everybody's had to migrate online to do that with the streaming stuff. And, you know, and this year we had to kind of modify that as well with our categories. You know, we had to drop probably about 15, 20 categories that we normally might have. Like, you know, we would have, you know, best live event of the year. We would have, all the bars. Bar blues bar. Well, we didn't because we didn't feature anything. So this year we had to shift that over to different categories, like we did, best live streaming performance, best live streaming series, that type of thing, because there are several musicians that did that just out of necessity. It was the only way they could get their music out, So
you mentioned earlier that you'll have some tickets available. Are they available, and how does the public get them?
Yes. They went on sale on Monday, and basically people can get them in Saginaw. We have them at the Review, but we have them at White's Bar and Records and Tapes Galore, Opperman's Cork and Ale, the Listed Room, and then the Vault. Bay City, they can get them at Electric Kitsch, Herder Music, Voodoo Tattoo, and Puff Dispensary. And in Midland, they can get them at Little Bighorn Music, Radio Wasteland, and Tim Boychuk State Farm Insurance. And then if you go online, too, to our site at review-mag.com at the top of the navigation bar, we have a breakdown on the whole evening schedule, the itinerary, the lineup, and everything. We've got a link line to eventbrite.com and also order them online. So that's how they typically do.
So, Bob, let me take you back when you're a teenager growing up. What kind of music were you into, and did you go to a lot of places to see music?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I was really young, the first album I ever got when I was probably the fifth grade, back in like 1966, was Revolver by the Beatles. And from that point on, I've always played myself. I play piano. But I've always been just totally in love with it. It's a huge part of life to me. And anyway, I growing up around here, of course, I graduated from Arthur Hill in 1972. And I mean, at that time, Michigan in this area, just had Dick Wagner and the Frost playing. You had every weekend you could go down to Daniel's Den and just see incredible bands, like SRC, of course, MC5. I mean, there were just so many. Bob Seger, they were just, and when you're 16 years old, that's pretty amazing, And in a lot of ways, I think that Michigan, especially this area, the bands that did come out of it had a more equal of an impact in a lot of ways as a lot of these celebrated groups from, San Francisco and the East Coast, it's pretty amazing. There was definitely a distinctive sound that came out of this area, and it was kind of melded between, I guess, just being, the whole Motor City thing, and also just kind of the region is in terms of different cultures, races, influences. They all kind of, it was just a kind of a mixing of the colors of the sound, and it evolved into a really distinct sound that we call Michigan music. I think. There's and it's never really left us. But,
it's true, but the locations have changed. I mean, there's, the days of Daniel's Den are gone, but
I know.
White's Bar is here.
You probably remember all those shows they used to have at the old Saginaw Auditorium that was torn down. I mean, it's sad, but now the game has changed as so much has, but I still am hurt by the fact that, people are definitely, they need to be entertained, and music is like the food and wine of life in a way. So, and as all art, and it's never going to really leave us, I don't think. It's just going to find a place to express itself.
Yep. And everybody growing up, I can remember when I grew up, and of course I was a teenager in the late 50s and 60s, and and I can remember saying, gee, how did my parents listen to that music? And then my parents are saying, how did you listen to your music? Music changes, tastes change, the delivery system changes, but we always have an appetite for it, don't we?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, Bob, listen, I wish you well with this one. I'm glad it's coming back live again. May 16th is the date. Give us your website again so people can look you up.
Yeah, it's www.review-mag.com.
All right. Good luck with it, Bob. Good talking to you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
You bet.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye now. Bob Martin, the editor and publisher of the Review Magazine and the Review Magazine. And there was a little bit of nostalgia there, too. I kind of like that. Kind of fun to do. What do you remember about those old days of music if you were around? Because I didn't grow up here, but I knew about the bands, that's for sure. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Phones are open for you, whatever you want to chat about. 752-6111 in Michigan, toll free 866-790 WSGW. Out of Michigan, 989-752-6111. We will return after these notes.
The model year closeout is happening now at General RV in Birch Run. It's your chance to live your dreams. We've marked down hundreds of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes to make room for new models that are rolling in. Trailers start at just $99 per month and motorhomes from $299. Your RV adventure is more affordable than ever at General RV in Birch Run off I-75. Payments based on 23% down at 4% APR for 120 and 240 months. Subject to credit approval. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
United Financial Credit Union wants to help give you a fresh start this year with our balance transfer loan. With rates as low as 4.99% APR, it's the perfect time to bring your high-rate loan balances to us, and we will help you consolidate them into our low-rate balance transfer loan. We're here to help you improve your financial health with credit report reviews, balance transfer loans, financial counseling, credit rebuilding options, and so much more. Call, click, or stop in to transfer your high-rate loans to our balance transfer loan today and receive a gift card of your choice. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to switch your accounts and join today. Visit our website for details.
APR equals annual percentage rate. Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Where you live, United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley Community.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moraif, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. It's no wonder why they call him the godfather of credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Now you can meet Ray Reynolds on his daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Go to rayswebinar.com and check out his free, very informative webinar or call 800-490-4140 now. That's rayswebinar.com or call 800-490-4140.
Station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. To our phones, Sandy is in Hampton Township. Sandy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I heard you just mention that you did not grow up in this area.
Right.
And I know that you grew up in New York City. Which borough did you grow up in?
I grew up in the Bronx, the only borough that's the Bronx.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Yep.
I'm only familiar with growing up in mid-Michigan. Could you please tell me what were the advantages of growing up in the Bronx?
Well, there are advantages and disadvantages. It's first of all, we are all products of our environment. You make out of it what's given to you. In the Bronx, you become street smart. You learn how to survive on the streets, and you learn how to be aware of your surroundings. It was a great city to grow up in because everything was at your fingertips. You wanted for nothing. Subway rides, I think at the time were a dime or 15 cents, and I could get anywhere in New York City on the subway. I was kind of a nerdy kid and also sports kid. So I wasn't involved in street stuff. And, most of the time my buddies and I were going downtown and hanging around. It was a great place to grow up. But to be honest with you, I didn't want to raise the kids there. That's how we got to Michigan. We chose not to raise our kids in the New York City area because I didn't like the direction it was heading. Let's put it that way. The advantage of growing up in a smaller community and a town like Saginaw and Hampton Township, where you are, you get to know your neighbors a lot better than you do in New York. You feel more a part of the community as opposed to just living someplace, if you know what I mean. In terms of, am I better off for growing up in New York? Well, I don't know. It made me who I am, I guess, in some ways, but that's more a tribute to my parents than it is my surroundings. I don't know that I would say that there's a big advantage to it. It's just different. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Were there gangs in your neighborhood?
Oh, yeah. But it was different. Gangs back then were, in many ways, territorial, ethnic-based to some degree. If you ever saw the movie or the play West Side Story about the street gangs, while it's an exaggeration to a degree, there was some truth behind it. But it was an interesting scenario because gangs were only strong as gangs. The individuals of the gangs, that was the great secret of the day. If you could separate them out, they ran the other way. They were only strong when they were together. And you learned how to live with it. You really did learn how to live with it, particularly in high school. But there were gangs. Sure, absolutely. And there were weapons, but they weren't what you find today. Back then in the city, there was something called a zip gun, and anybody could make it with a tube and a couple of pieces of wood and rubber bands and a nail. That was what they were doing at the time. So we look at things today and say, oh, everything is new, and different. Was it really? Nah, I'm not so sure about that. Just depends where you were. I will tell you this, though. Growing up on the streets of New York, you develop the respect for everyone, no matter their race, their ethnicity, didn't matter what their religion was. My friends were a mixed bag, and that's the way you survived.
Now, would you take advantage of going to Manhattan and the culture that was offered there?
All the time. I mean, that's what my buddies and I did on the weekends. We'd plop our coins in the subway turnstile and off we'd go down into Manhattan. We had certain things we liked to do. First of all, I was in a group called the NBC Teen Workshop. which was a group of youngsters who were interested in the fledgling television industry at the time. And we had this access to NBC in the RCA building that the public didn't have. We had passes. We could get on the elevator with the Jack Parrs of the day and the Steve Allens of the day and ride upstairs to our little hiding place. So it was a great time for me. It was most unusual. And you couldn't do that anywhere else in the world. I mean, New York was the place for that. There's no two ways about it. But we would go downtown and we'd go to TV shows, and we'd go down to what was called the Radio District at the time, where there were a lot of surplus stores. And we go to Chinatown to eat, and we do all of that. And it was fun. And we'd also go to Harlem, to 125th Street. We'd go to some of the Alan Freed rock and roll shows that were there. And it was great times indeed. But again, you make out of your situation what's handed to you. You know, I didn't have a choice where I was born. I didn't have a choice where I grew up. So you make the best out of it.
Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough that when I graduated from Central Michigan University, I had to go back and get postgraduate. And one of the classes I took was called New York Theater. And I flew out to New York City with a group of students, and we went to all the plays on Broadway and got to go to the Copacabana and some of the other highlights, and Statue of Liberty, all that stuff. It was very enjoyable.
Oh, it is. I mean, but well, I tell everyone, I mean, you put it on your bucket list at least once in your life. You got to go to New York. Now, understand that most people who go to New York never see New York. They see Manhattan. They see the tall buildings. True. They see the theater scene. They see the restaurants. They don't see the neighborhoods. And New York is a gathering of neighborhoods. There are people who live in neighborhoods in the Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens and Staten Island and that never leave those neighborhoods. It's their entire life. And that's New York. It is a collection of neighborhoods, and each neighborhood in a way is self-supporting. It's almost like a little city. So it's a unique place. And I urge people to go, and I urge them to get on the subways and go out into the hinterlands of the city and take a look at it. It's an education.
That's one reason I called you. I wanted the perspective of someone who actually lived there.
Yep.
So,
well, thanks for calling, Sandy. I appreciate it. Take care.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now. Yeah, it was, great place to grow up. I have no regrets for growing up in New York. I spent all my formidable years until I went off at school. But nothing like it. Nothing like it on earth, good and bad. You take the good and the bad together, All right, we're going to take a pause here. Lines are open for you. Give us a call, and let's talk for a minute about Blue Cross. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help you need. With the Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/senior care. And we'll be back on the Art Lewis Show. Phones are open for you.
Social Security. You've spent your entire working life paying into it. So don't you want to get the most out of it? All it's worth? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors can show you ways to do that with their free Social Security report. It's a great first step to learn how your Social Security benefits can play a role in your overall retirement income plan, especially because the Social Security Administration isn't able to give advice. Get your free Social Security report from Great Lakes Investment Advisors at greatlakesoffers.com/security. That's greatlakesoffers.com/security. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at Insurance Services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. The firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be?
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Is your credit card debt piling up? Pacific Debt can help. Pacific Debt is the nation's friendliest debt settlement company with an A+ rating from the Better Business. 5-star reviews on sites like Trustpilot and Best Company. They can settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. In fact, they've settled over $300 million, helping people just like you. Get a monthly program payment you can afford and 0 upfront fees. Get free information now. 800-281-9981. 800-281-9981.
All right, back with you here on WSGW. Interesting call from Sandy there in Hampton Township asking about my upbringing in New York. And it kind of fits because we were talking to Bob Martin earlier about growing up in Saginaw, the music scene in Saginaw. The music scene in New York, as you can imagine, was unlike most any music scene in the world, probably. And when I was a teenager, I was into some jazz. I was into the Brubecks and the Milt Jacksons and things of that nature. And we used to go out to clubs on Long Island. See, I'm confessing, folks. We used to sort of sneak in because we weren't old enough, technically. And we saw the MJQ and Brubeck and people like that. And later on, when I got married, my wife and I were living in New Jersey. We went and saw Buddy Rich. He was probably my favorite. I loved Buddy Rich's music. He himself was not a nice guy, to say the least. As a matter of fact, while we were at a performance at a club in New Jersey that had a balcony, Rich started a song, and some joker up in the balcony was yelling, "Go, Rich, go!" You know, he stopped the band, looked up at the guy, and told him to shut his mouth. And then started the song all over again. It was pretty amusing, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I have a lot of fond memories. But again, you know, when my wife and I had a choice, we chose not to bring our youngsters up in the New York area. And it was just a conscious decision, and literally came to Saginaw on blind luck. I tell this story to folks. I took out a Rand McNally map, opened up to the national map, closed my eyes, and put my finger down. And it landed on Saginaw, Michigan. And, you know, I was working in suburban New York City radio. Wasn't a bad gig, to say the least. Quick call from our famous chef, Dave Miner. Dave, good morning.
Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
Darn good.
What's up?
Well, you're talking about jazz scene in New York, and like that. And as a kid, I grew up in Clio and moved to Fort Lauderdale, which was a little big small town back in the 19th.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of jazz going on there. You could go down to the airport lounge and see all kind of guys. And the Checkmate Lounge, I saw Ahmad Jamal and a friend of mine. You remember a jazz disc jockey called China Vallis? He was on WABC, I think.
Yeah, I heard the name.
He was world famous. And the Magic Bus, a radio station, had jazz at night. And I went down to the radio station one time and met him, just for the heck of it, because I love jazz. And we became fast friends, and I used to have a restaurant in Hollywood, Florida. And there was a Hemingway's down the street, a jazz club. He brought Dizzy Gillespie and...
oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, the names of the people that I sat and had with, talks with. And I got a job
Dizzy Gillespie, I used to call him the Cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh, he was amazing.
I mean, I had dinner with Dizzy numerous times because he used to play at the Checkmate.
Wow.
And,
All right, I'm jealous.
And so I got a job as a chef on a yacht in West Palm Beach, and we motored up all the way to Strawberry Beach. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard the name.
New York.
Yep.
Okay, so the owners weren't too keen on staying on the boat for the summer, so they let us run amok with the boat.
Oh. Hey, Dave.
25-foot boat.
Dave, I got to interrupt. I'd love to hear more, but I'm out of time. I got to head to a break.
sorry.
Well, that's all right. We'll talk to you again. Good chatting with you. Dave Miner from Oscar and Joey's Restaurant. We will be back after these notes.
It's new, the newly enhanced XT2 Series tractors from Cub Cadet. These lawn tractors have always set the standard for performance and comfort. Now get more strength, durability, and versatility with a strong Kawasaki engine delivering reliable power to tackle your yard, plus a 42-inch heavy-duty fabricated Aeroforce deck cutting system delivering a best-in-class cut with fewer clumps, finer clippings, and increased evenness. The tough torque hydrostatic transmission delivers no shifting. Just push the pedal and go. See the new Cub Cadet Enhanced XT2 Series tractors today at Woolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Sac. Service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are guaranteed and may lose value.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses at Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
Well, that'll do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back. We're going to talk about the National Cherry Festival up front, and then we'll have more open phones. We'll talk to you after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Breaking news, the jailed and failed financier Bernie Madoff is dead. The man convicted of the largest Ponzi scheme in history has died in a federal prison in North Carolina. He was 82. Here's CBS's Steve Kathan.
Why did he do it? One investor outside the courtroom insisted
are a greedy man.
At the time, his biographer Diana Henriquez told CBS News,
He finds it much easier to live with himself as a liar than to live with himself as a failure.
Still, others insisted he was a sociopath. Even after being sentenced to 150 years in prison, Bernie Madoff told a reporter that he was, quote, a good person. But few, if anybody, seemed willing to buy that. And when there was a report a few years ago that he was in failing health, the cover of the New York Daily News read, now maybe he'll do everyone a favor and die.
Again, Bernie Madoff dead at 82. Coronavirus with the rollout of Johnson & Johnson halted over rare cases of blood clots in women who had the injection.
The CDC is holding a meeting today to review those 6 cases, and the FDA is investigating as well. As the president's chief medical advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says that he anticipates this pause will last days, not weeks or months. And the White House is telling us that despite this setback, they still believe they are on track to make sure that every American who wants a shot will get one by the end of May.
CBS's Nancy Cordes in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, calls for that white policewoman who says she accidentally shot young black man Daunte Wright to be charged.
We don't think it can kill him and say, I made a mistake and then resign and keep all her benefits, all her pensions. No, she should be held accountable to the full extent of the law.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who's representing the family of Daunte Wright and George Floyd. The Derek Chauvin trial resuming this hour. The defense insisting Chauvin was justified in kneeling on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. Ahead of a congressional hearing into the U.S. Capitol siege today.
A watchdog report obtained by the Associated Press found expired weapons that couldn't be used by Capitol Police, some more than 20 years old, riot shields that shattered, and inadequate training. Describes disagreements between officials over whether National Guard forces should be used. The report also notes a missed memo from the FBI that indicated online activists planned a war on January 6th.
CBS's Candy McCormick reporting. Only 2 months after extreme cold triggered a power disaster in Texas, now Texans are being asked to conserve power because it's warm. This is CBS News.
When you're hiring, there's no luxury of time. So instead of waiting for people to see your sponsored post, invite them to apply. More at Indeed.com/credits.
For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. It's no wonder why they call him the guy. Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Now you can meet Ray Reynolds on his daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Go to rayswebinar.com and check out his free, very informative webinar or call 800-490-4140 now. That's rayswebinar.com or call 800-490-4140.
This ad is sponsored by Lacuna Ventures. This is the Consumer Attention Lifeline with an urgent message. A federal jury unanimously ruled that Roundup, a popular weed killer, was a substantial factor in potentially developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Victims who used Roundup and were Hodgkin's lymphoma have been awarded millions of dollars. One simple phone call is all it takes to find out if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call now for a free confidential case review. It only takes a few minutes, and there are no fees for our service. Thousands of people may have been exposed to this dangerous weed killer over the course of decades. This is a time-sensitive matter, so you must call now. If you or someone you know used Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, this could be your lifeline to substantial financial compensation. Just call 1-800-834-6509. Call 1-800-834-6509. Conditions, visit yourrights.legal. Call 1-800-834-6509 now.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Live. 5 and 790 Newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 48 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. The city of Saginaw is closing Ojibwe Island to vehicle traffic effective immediately. Park grounds will remain open to pedestrians for recreation. However, gates will be closed to vehicle access after several reports of excessive pollution, noise, and vehicles causing damage to park grounds, in addition to needed caution during the recent surge in COVID-19 cases. Residents may continue to use the area for walking, biking, jogging, fishing, and many other offered. Island has experienced large crowds since it was recently reopened to vehicular traffic. City Manager Tim Morales released a statement saying, quote, "We continue to see large groups of people gathering at Ojibwe. Unfortunately, these gatherings are becoming a health and safety issue. In the interest of the health and safety of our citizens, we have made an administrative decision to close Ojibwe to vehicle access until further notice," end quote. The city does intend to develop a plan to reopen the island so that all residents can enjoy the park safely. Bay County has joined surrounding communities in extending its local emergency declaration. Antonio has more.
The extension will allow county boards and public forums to meet virtually in accordance with the state's Open Meetings Act through July 13th, unless extended or canceled before then. Other precautionary measures shared by County Health Officer Joel Strauss at this week's county board session include the halt of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine at clinics countywide until more research can be done on potential side effects. In the meantime, Strauss says anyone who has already gotten the Johnson & Johnson vaccine shouldn't worry too much, but should certainly keep an eye on the matter. He says clinics through the county will continue as scheduled for now, but will be switching to the Pfizer vaccine as availability allows. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:06.
To attorney Jerry Reif about estate planning. Jerry, how would you suggest I do it and keep it simple?
Well, estate planning can be very complicated or very simple, depending upon what you want to do, but more importantly, when you do it. Let's figure out what you want.
Well, I just want to make sure my stuff gets to the people I love.
And that's simple enough. But when you have a lot of stuff like real estate, bank accounts, brokerage accounts, and IRAs, it can get more complicated. Whether planning is simple or complicated is less dependent upon what you want and much more dependent upon when you do it.
Explain what you mean about it's important when you do it.
Sure. For example, if you do planning while you're healthy and understand the different options, it's relatively simple and far less expensive.
All right, what makes estate planning expensive?
When people do it without understanding, and then later on, they figure out that it's not what they really wanted, so they have to do it over. Understanding the options you have now while you're healthy is what enables you to keep it simple.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerryreiflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 today.
This 10:08. A woman accused of trying to kill her boyfriend has been charged in Saginaw County. On March 25th, police say 42-year-old Polanda Bennett of Davison and her 51-year-old boyfriend were in an argument at a house on Green Street in Saginaw. The dispute escalated until Bennett left the home and got in her vehicle. Police say the boyfriend followed her out of the house and Bennett allegedly ran him over. The man suffered critical injuries. A warrant for Bennett's arrest was issued April 5th. She was found April 12th. Bennett's charged with one count of assault with intent to murder. She's being held on a $30,000 bond. U.S. Congressman Dan Kildee has opened up about his mental health following the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. WSGW's Michael Percha reports.
Kildee was trapped inside the Capitol chambers during the riot as protesters stormed the building. 5 people died in the attack. Kildee says he believed he was fine following the attack until watching footage of the event. Emotional reaction. He sought the help of a mental health professional at the urging of family and friends and was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. Kildee encourages anyone dealing with struggles to pick up a phone and ask for help. Please text the word strength to 741-741 to be connected to the crisis text line and talk to a certified crisis counselor. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
If you're feeling a higher sense of anxiety because of the latest news about Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine, you're not alone. Birmingham psychiatrist Dr. Howard Belkin.
Everyone has the health of the public as their number one concern. As long as we realize that and believe it, we can use that to temper the nervousness and the uncertainty that we have. These are very, very uncertain times. And unfortunately, instead of getting more certain, at times they become less certain.
Of 7 million people in the U.S. to receive the Johnson & Johnson, 6 developed a rare blood clot disorder within 2 weeks of vaccination. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll have gradually increasing cloud cover as highs warm to the upper 40s. We'll have west-southwest winds 5 to 15, gusting in the 20s. For tonight, chance for rain and snow during the overnight hours. Cloud cover 34 for your low, and west winds 5 to 10. Thursday, rain and snow showers early on, and then a chance for rain during the day. Cloud cover 48 degrees for your high temperature. We'll jump into the mid-50s by Friday with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Thalhuber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 45 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you. Welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. It's possible at some point during this hour we'll get a call from Kat Pay. She is the executive director of the National Cherry Festival. And when that happens, we'll spend a couple of minutes talking to Kat. But for the remainder of the hour and for most of the hour, phones are open for you. Whatever you'd like to talk about. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790 WSGW. I have a particular interest in the hospitality industry, the travel industry. I spent 14 years as a tour operator and running tours and cruises and things of that nature. So I kind of keep track of those things. And I was waiting for this to happen, because I knew the frustration was building in the cruise industry. There are a number of things afoot trying to get the cruise industry restarted in this country. And one of them just happened. Republican Senators Rick Scott and Marco Rubio of Florida and Dan Sullivan from Alaska have introduced legislation to override the CDC and their restrictions on cruising from U.S. waters. And it's going to be introduced in the House by a representative, Elvira Salazar, a Republican in Florida. Now, what they are asking for is that the cruise industry be allowed to start sailing from U.S. ports starting in July. And they want the CDC to rescind their no-sail order. The CDC has been, really tough on the cruise industry because they keep saying, well, we're going to issue new guidelines and we're going to do this and hopefully that, but they never give them a start date. So the cruise industry has responded. Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Carnival has are threatening to move their ships off the U.S. ports. They'll sail out of the Caribbean. They'll sail out of Mexico. They'll sail out of Europe. But they won't sail out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and the Canaveral, Port Canaveral, and places like that. That would be a terrible blow to the economy. Alaska has a double problem because Alaska not only has the U.S. restrictions limited cruising to Alaska, ended cruising to Alaska, but before that, Canada closed their ports. And what happens, and the reason that that's important, some would say, well, so Canada closes, so what? Well, most all cruises sail through Canadian waters to get to Alaska. And if you sail through Canadian waters, you have to stop at a Canadian port. Most of the time it's Victoria. And many cruises start in Vancouver. Now, there are Seattle to Alaska cruises, but they invariably go through some portion of Alaskan water. So not only is Alaska faced with the cruise ban imparted upon them by the CDC, they also are faced with the cruise ban from a Canadian standpoint. So they have to tackle more than one issue. They are hoping that if they can get the CDC to relax their regulations and let the cruise lines start cruising again in a safe manner, maybe vaccinations will be required, what have you, that Canada will loosen up their restrictions on their home ports and allow the ships to sail in. So Alaska has its unique set of problems. Florida's problem is it's a big part of their economy. Tourism is huge. Those ports produce tremendous volumes of income for Florida, and there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. The only ships they've seen come in and out are the occasional cruise liner that comes in to replenish supplies and take them back out to the ships that are parked offshore, because they have to have food stuff, they have to have all of the accoutrements that a cruise ship needs for the crew, because all of these ships have a certain amount of operating crew on board, and they have to be fed and they have to be taken care of, and the ship supplies have to be maintained. So the only cruise business they've seen are these ships coming in and out as supply ships, in effect. So the question is, there are two questions here. Should the CDC relax its rules and allow the cruise industry to restart in this country? Under COVID guidelines, we understand that. And the cruise lines understand that too. They want that. You know, there have been cruises overseas now where vaccination is required. Well, that's fine. But the bigger question I have, and I ask this question on purpose because, as you know, we here at WSGW for many, many years have done tours, trips, which I organize and go with, and some of them are cruises. And we are, to show you how far we've progressed with our thinking in COVID-19, I am beginning to look at 2022 to come up with some travel plans. Now, I'm curious. In 2022, now think a year ahead, at least a year ahead. Would you be willing to get on a cruise ship? Would you be willing to take a cruise in 2022? There is a pent-up demand. The cruise lines are seeing tremendous bookings ahead. And I'm curious as to whether or not you, as a traveler, would be willing to hop on an airplane, fly to Florida, and hop on a cruise ship, for example, in 2022. Is that far enough out for you? By then, will we have stemmed the tide of COVID-19? Most people vaccinated, maybe herd immunity by then. It's one of the things on the table. And I thought I'd throw it out just to see what kind of reaction there is, whether or not there is a demand for it. I mean, it may be that no one wants to go on one. Now, the cruise lines are saying, no, that's not what they're seeing. The airlines are telling you that's not what they're seeing. As a matter of fact, American is starting to pull planes out of mothball and reinstitute flights that were canceled because of COVID-19. Delta recently had to accelerate their selling of middle seats over the holidays. So there is a pent-up demand. There's no doubt about that. People want to get out. They want to travel. They're tired of being cooped up. Question is, what kind of travel do they want to do? No matter what kind of travel you do, you're going to be in a relatively confined space. Whether it's a bus tour, you travel by train, you travel by plane, on a cruise ship, you're in a relatively confined space. No one wanted to do that at the height of COVID-19. But as COVID-19 begins to wane, I know numbers are up in Michigan and all that, but overall, as a nation, as more people get vaccinated, and we begin to move toward herd immunity, more and more people want to get out. Would you have a problem traveling in 2022? Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free is 866-790 WSGW. That's for the state of Michigan. Outside the state of Michigan, you can call 989-752-6111. Another thing we're hopeful to see some action on, but we haven't so far, and we're somewhat dependent on Canada. I am wearing, you might see here if you're watching on the tube, on the video stream, I am wearing a Saginaw Spirit sweatshirt this morning. Have every hope, but not so much confidence, that there will be some kind of hockey in Saginaw before the season's out. It's very difficult. They've canceled the Memorial Cup, but there's still a chance there could be some limited hockey. Canada is still tied down pretty tight, and you can't cross the border unless you're an exempt or a necessary worker, and that includes the hockey teams. So if there's a season, and if Canada loosens up, it could be a season that sees Americans play Americans. That is, the U.S. teams, Saginaw, Flint, and Erie, play each other several times, and the Canadian teams play each other several times. Possibility, but nothing firm. Nothing firm at all. All right, let's pause. We'll do a couple of things here. First, we'll give away some money, or we'll try. It's time to play the WSGW Spring into Cash contest. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following winning word online at WSGW.com. Winning word this hour is beans, B-E-A-N-S. Oh, how I love those pork and beans. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner chosen each day. Must be 18 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Spring into cash on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. And while I have your attention, how did you sleep last night? We're asked to do more for less in this world we live in. So when you go to bed, and theoretically you're supposed to spend about a third of your life there, figure that out, 8 hours a day, you need quality sleep. It's how your body recharges. And you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home, so you don't have to wait around all day. And if you're an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress to your exact size and specifications, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. Lines open for you on this open edition of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back with more after these notes.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
Keep tools, lawn equipment, and more protected with Suncast storage sheds from Menards. All 11% off. The Tremont 8x10 storage shed features blow-molded resin construction and steel-reinforced double walls for years of durability. All Suncast storage sheds are now 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through April 17th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open mixed. Investors are looking at upbeat earnings news from big banks, but also another sign that inflation could be looming. The price of imported things rose last month. The import price index was up 1.2%. Most of the rise came from higher oil prices, which led to other increases. JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Wells Fargo all reported stronger than expected earnings. Norwegian Cruise Lines is providing support to longshoremen as it hopes to convince the CDC to allow it to restart cruises in July. The company's donating $100,000 in visa for members of the Longshoremen's Union. And Bitcoin has been trading in record territory. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase is going public today on the NASDAQ. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Finally, spring has arrived, and so have all new Untuckit styles. Check out our new wrinkle-free shirts that every guy needs as the weather warms up. And don't forget our famous polos, the official shirts of spring. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked and will look great as we get back to the things we've been missing, like dinner with friends, vacations, and yes, even heading back to the office. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn untucked. Use code TAKE20 for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations, all free with the radio.com app.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
Line drive down the left field line, hooking, gone, a home run! Renato Nunez, fly ball off the bat of Akil Baddoo. This one's deep, and it's gone, a home run! Akil Baddoo! The Tigers go back-to-back.
Tigers baseball, brought to you in part by
Ed Raymond and Sons in downtown Chesaning.
Your local auto owners agents, including Rummel Agency, Mahan Agency,
and Buck Insurance Agency.
The Tigers play on WSGW.
All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Just a news note. Just got word from Senator Peters. U.S. Senators Gary Peters and Debbie Stabenow today announced the U.S. Department of Treasury will be providing $175,863,073. How they come up with that number, I don't know. The state of Michigan is part of the State Small Business Credit Initiative. The funding comes after the senators successfully led efforts to enact significant funding for the program as part of the American Rescue Plan Act, signed into law last month. Peters and Stabenow also championed the original language that established the program of the Small Business Jobs Act of 2010 as members of the U.S. House and Senate, respectively. So small business may be getting some kind of relief from the federal Treasury. Very good. What else is happening out there today? By the way, lines are open for you. You can give us a call if you want to talk about anything at all. Just let us know what it is. There is a push among Democrats. It's called the Breyer Retire campaign. Senate Democratic lawmakers say they are not putting overt retirement pressure on Supreme Court Justice Breyer, but the word is out there that there is pressure. They have a paper-thin majority in the Senate, so they want to take action now to try and replace those senators that they have sway over, those justices they have sway over. Breyer is 82 years old. Democrats, with their single seat majority, are just a single seat away from giving power back to the Republicans. And so they want to make sure that they have a majority to replace Justice Breyer if he decides to retire. And we haven't heard anything from him that says he would, but apparently they are making noises to that effect so that they can replace him with a justice from the left. Don't be surprised by that, because the Republicans will do the same thing and have from the right. It is probably the most lasting legacy power that a president has, the appointment of Supreme Court justices. Donald Trump had 3 of them. They will be lasting legacies because he moved the court to the right substantially. Democrats, given the opportunity, would do exactly the same thing. There's been a little stirring, but not much, about packing the court, where they would pass legislation to expand the Supreme Court. Republicans can't do that alone. Democrats can't do that alone. The only way they could get that done is if the House agreed and the Senate removed the filibuster. Because otherwise, there's no way in the world they're going to get a filibuster-proof vote to pack the court. It's not going to happen. And by packing the court, that's come to mean adding, let's say 4 seats to the court, so you go to 13 justices or 15 justices instead of the 9. And then, of course, when you do that, if you do that under a Democratic regime, the Democrats get to fill all those seats. And that's generally what's meant by packing the court. And it would put a big sway into the court in one direction or another. It's not likely that's going to happen. The votes aren't there for it. And there are some Democrats that don't want to do it. And remember, much of the power in the Senate right now sits in one Democrat's hand, Joe Manchin, and he's not in favor of it. So what they need to do is ensure that the seats they have, they keep, because, they don't know what's going to happen 3.5 years down the road. Does Joe Biden retain the presidency, or does a Republican win the presidency? And then, if some of these justices retire under a Republican president and the seat is filled by a Republican, guess what? So that's why the Democrats are doing what they're doing, trying to save the seats they have and ensure that they replace those justices perceived as liberal justices with liberal justices. Be interesting to watch. Let's see here. Don is in Saginaw. Don, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Hey, you're talking about the Canada closing the borders and stuff.
Yep.
Mickey Redmond, he's a Canadian American on the Red Wings, and he just rails on the government. And he says, hey, besides that, they're closing down all the what they can do in the country.
Yeah.
The Canadians.
Yeah.
And my question is, are they doing this to the international borders also? Because why have they got so much COVID when they shut us down right off the beginning?
Well, the international borders are closed to you right now. You can't go to Canada unless you're an essential worker.
No, I'm talking about the people coming from Asia and Europe. Are they getting in that country?
I don't know. I doubt it, to be honest with you, because travel to Canada is restricted, and I would imagine it's restricted flying in too. If you fly in, you have to quarantine You got to do a whole host of things, and you do it at your own expense. So, yeah, I suppose and it's funny you mentioned that. I just received, as part of my Nexus card, I just received a Nexus notice about that very thing. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. I'm not sure which of my many emails it's under, but I'll take a quick peek and see if I can find it, because it was pretty wide ranging, explaining all of the restrictions, if you will. Yeah, one more place to look here. Hang on real quick. See if I can find it real fast, because it was interesting. It laid it out pretty specifically. Let's see here. If we do this, and the computer wants to run slow, of course, when you want it to run fast. All right, Nexus. Here it is. My goodness, let's see what it says. I'll read this to you. The Canadian Border Services Agency would like to provide you with 2 updates. First, the CBSA would like to inform you that in an effort to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and its variants, there have been changes to reporting requirements for travelers arriving in Canada. Travelers being a generic word. All travelers arriving by land or air must submit their travel and contact information electronically via ArriveCAN before or when crossing the border or boarding a flight. This requirement applies to individuals on exempt travel and Nexus members. In addition to travel and contact information, ArriveCAN allows travelers to submit a quarantine plan and COVID-19 symptom self-assessment as required. So right now, don't travel to Canada.
But it's kind of ridiculous because most of the Vancouver Canucks have been quarantined now for quite a while because they haven't been playing. So where is all their COVID coming from if nobody's going there, right?
Well, that's an interesting question, because initially when they tightened up their borders, they were relatively COVID-free. They closed everything down, and then all of a sudden they got a big surge in COVID. And I have no idea where that came from. No idea, except that it had to be there to start with.
Yeah, well, it's like Australia. They close it down, and then they say, we don't got any. And then all of a sudden they start getting...
Yeah. So who knows?
I don't know.
All right. Well, we got our eyes on it because we all want to see hockey again, We'll talk to you.
I don't know about Ontario. Yeah.
All right, Don.
All right.
Thanks.
Care,
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show, where lines are open for you.
The model year closeout is happening now at General RV in Birch Run. It's your chance to save thousands on the RV of your dreams. We've marked down hundreds of and motorhomes to make room for new models that are rolling in. Trailers start and motorhomes from $299. Your RV adventure is more affordable than ever at General RV in Birch Run off I-75. Payments based on 23% down at 4% APR for 120 and 240 months. Subject to credit approval. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Wearing a mask is more than protection. It's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of... But until we can all get the COVID-19 vaccine and build community immunity, which will take time, we all need to continue to stay careful. Because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings, and social distance. One day in the near future, we will all be able to put this pandemic behind us. But until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com for the Polecat Golf Course is unfortunate. The Polecat Golf Course is located in the heart of Michigan. It is a championship-style course played over and around the scenic 100-foot-wide Chippewa River. Even though this deal is sold out, keep checking back to RocketGrabPlus.com for more great deals. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss America 2020 Camille Schreier. Join me in support of the DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 24th. Please get rid of the unused or expired prescriptions in your medicine cabinet. They could end up lost, stolen, or simply misused. Protect your family and our communities, and let's all keep prescription drugs at. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. That's DEATakeback.com.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions in older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. The smart device stores up to 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. It dispenses them at the push of a button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero, medication managed.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hi, back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. Coming up on Focus, by the way, we'll talk to Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. That will be coming up right after the news here on WSGW. As you know, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been temporarily suspended in terms of use all over the country because of 6 cases of blood clotting in women under the age of 48, out of 7 million doses administered. And you might ask yourself, well, 6 cases, why do they do that? Well, they do it for safety. They want to understand what's causing it. And remember, too, the AstraZeneca vaccine in Europe, which is the same type of vaccine as the Johnson & Johnson, also had some blood clotting problems. So they're going to take a look at these 6 women who have had the clots, 1 died, and see if there's a commonality of cause. Were they all suffering from the same ailment before getting the clots? Were there underlying conditions that led to it? Because then they can put a warning on the vaccine, do not administer to individuals who meet this criteria. I think the reality is that the J&J vaccine will come back on the market in relatively quick order. I mean, when you look at the numbers, 6 people out of 7 million. So the percentage of people with problems is ridiculously small, less than 1 in each million doses. I mean, you face worse odds than that when you get in your car and drive down the road. So I would expect that that vaccine will come back on the market. The problem is, anytime we hear these stories, it throws doubt in the minds of those thinking about getting a vaccine. That's not a good thing. We need to get the vaccine in this country. We need to get that herd immunity so we can get on with our lives. And this will not help. Those people on the bubble that aren't sure if they want the vaccine are going to look at this and go, oh, I better wait. I say no. I say go out and find the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. They're out there. But it will cause hesitancy in some people. It's to be expected. Don't be surprised by that. I heard all these news reporters asking that question of Fauci and others yesterday, will there be hesitancy? Come on, of course there's going to be hesitancy. Anytime there's anything negative in the news about something we're thinking about, there's hesitancy. Some of the questions sometimes are just ridiculous. I don't know, but that's just me. But the reality is that they're going to have to go on a positive note campaign to push out the positiveness of the vaccines and overcome the negative news that happens. I mean, there's risk in everything. If you take aspirin, there's risk. Some people, it eats them up, tears up their stomachs. But aspirin's still on the market. It's true of every single drug you've ever taken. It's a risk reward. Why do you think when you see all of these drugs advertised on television trying to influence you to tell your doctor how you want to be treated, how ridiculous is that? 20 seconds of the spot are spent telling you about the wonderful attributes of the drug, and 40 seconds are talking about how it'll kill you and all the things you can catch from it. And the reality is the chances of getting any of those are minute, infinitesimal, but that's called a CYA. They do it to protect themselves from any liability they may have in the long run. So 6 out of 7 million. Should we really be worried about it? I think it's fine to investigate, find out what caused it, put a warning on it if you need one. But let's get back to reality. All right. We'll take a break. Be back with more. It's the Art Lewis Show, and lines are open for you if you want to chat. Good morning.
Social Security. You've spent your entire working life paying into it. So don't you want to get the most out of it, squeezing it for all it's worth? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors can show you ways to do that. Social Security Report. It's a great first step to learn how your Social Security benefits can play a role in your overall retirement income plan, especially because the Social Security Administration isn't able to give advice. Get your free Social Security Report from Great Lakes Investment Advisors at greatlakesoffers.com/security. That's greatlakesoffers.com/security. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Firm is not a government or any governmental agency.
If your basement smells like mildew, it could be coming from the last place you'd expect, your gutters. That's right. Clogged gutters cause rainwater to overflow and seep right into your foundation. Now I'm smelling costly repairs. Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter guard, is a one-time investment that keeps debris out and comes with a lifetime transferable warranty. So schedule your free estimate now. Call 844-300-LEAF. That's 844-300-LEAF. Or visit tryleaffilter.com and keep gutters clean for good.
How clean is your nose? Most airborne germs and allergens invade through the nose, your body's air filter. You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? Did you know there's an easy way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself? It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to clean your nose by flushing out pollen, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. Millions use Navage for fast, all-natural relief from sinus congestion and allergies, and to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is easy to use, affordable, and it comes with an absolute guarantee of satisfaction. And 50,000 independent online reviews averaging 4.7 stars show just how much people love their Navage. You wash your hands and brush your teeth every day. Now you can clean your health with Navage at Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Make good nasal hygiene your new normal with Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Guys, we need to clear a path here.
Indeed knows unexpected employee turnover can stall your business.
By tonight. John!
Like at Chris's Logistics Company, to avoid things grinding to a halt, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first. Terms and conditions apply.
Swinging a fly ball to right field, and that's going to drop in front of the right fielder Rooker. A little flare off the end of the bat of Miguel Cabrera. Scope in to score, and the Tigers take a 2-1 lead.
The Tigers play 1-5 today on WSGW 790 AM.
All right, back with you here on WSGW. I want to talk about one other thing. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm sure you have. If you go to the grocery store, prices are on the rise. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics put out their monthly consumer price index on Tuesday, and it showed a 0.6% increase in March, the largest one-month increase in nearly a decade. Over the past year, prices have increased 2.6% overall during the pandemic. Gas up 9.1% last month. Since February, fruits and vegetables have risen nearly 2%. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs have risen 0.4%, according to the government numbers. It comes on the back of prices that had already been rising during the year's pandemic stockpiling. And some of the items before the pandemic began, the national average for a pound of bacon in January of 2020 was $4.72. That sounds high for around here, but that was the national average. Last month, that price was $5.11. Ground beef is up $5.26 a pound from $5.02 on a national basis. Bread is up to $2.66 a loaf from $2.44. And the hikes are more acute in certain areas of the country. Boston and Philadelphia, much higher. Chicago, a little higher. Dallas, higher. So depends where you are, how much of an increase you're seeing. But the bottom line is, whatever your budget is for food, be careful what you're buying, because the prices are going up at a time when most people aren't making more money. Many people are hurting because they're not making very much money at all, or they're on unemployment. So it's like a double whammy. Your money becomes tighter and your expenses rise at the same time. So if you don't have a budget, come up with one. How do you do that with prices going up? Well, you have to allow extra. Seems to be the nature of the beast right now in everything. Gas prices have been moderating a little bit, but bouncing up and down in the upper twos compared to last year when they were $1 something a gallon. And that's because world oil prices are up a little bit. And that affects other things you buy that are petroleum based. So it's not only food, groceries, and gasoline that are going up, but almost everything you buy is going up. So as they say, pinch your pennies. Watch what you buy. Buy what you need. Try not to buy the things you don't need. And we'll all get through this. Just going to take some time. And the other thing, and I haven't spent much time talking about this, but I'm going to have to one of these times. The Unemployment Insurance Agency in Michigan. I don't understand it. Many people don't. Now, I know they've been overwhelmed with requests and all of that, but some of the things that are happening, you just shake your head at. Topic for another day because we're pretty much out of time now, but we'll keep that on the table. And we will be back to close out after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Take the wheel and let's go for a spin. Every Friday and Saturday in April at Saganing Eagles Landing. Our prize wheel is loaded with big-time winning, like premium play, complimentary meals and hotel stays, and bonus entries into the grand prize drawing on April 30th for a new Ford Mustang. So get ready and let's go for a spin. Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Let your fun out. Visit Saganing-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Hi, this is Marianne from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Natural light is known to elevate your mood, boost your productivity, and even improve your health. With window treatments that provide a perfect combination of UV protection, privacy, and light control, natural light can also enhance your home interior. During the Hunter Douglas Celebration of Light Savings event, now through June 21st, you can save big with special rebates on qualifying purchases of gorgeous window treatments. Discover how Silhouette window shadings beautifully diffuse light to create a soft glow. Shadings provide sculptural beauty as well as innovative light control. Luminant privacy shears are also an ideal vertical solution for large panes of glass and sliding doors, which let in tons of natural light. These Hunter Douglas shears and shadings are available in a wide selection of luxurious fabric, colors, and textures, so you can easily find the perfect look and the perfect light for your home. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. It's the collectors. It's those credit cards you ran up trying to start your business. Now you found out that a DBA hurts the family and brings the pain home.
Do you remember hearing these commercials on radio? For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. It's no wonder why they call him the godfather of credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Take advantage of numerous tax write-offs only available to a corporation. This daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, or call 800-490-4140 to find out more about his secrets to success in helping fix and improve your credit. Go to rayswebinar.com at 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. Monday through Friday and check out his free, very informative webinar, or call 800-490-4140 now. It's worth your time and you'll learn a lot. That's rayswebinar.com or call 800-490-4140.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
All right, that's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back tomorrow with lots more. Focus is ahead. We're going to talk about insurance with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. All of that follows the news here on WSGW. CBS News with the national and international report at the top of the hour. And then the local report. Ann Williams will bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region. I'll be back with Focus right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
The
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. He was the ultimate Ponzi schemer, Bernie Madoff. Federal prison in North Carolina, where he was serving 150 years for swindling investors. Correspondent Anthony Mason has his story.
Bernie Madoff may have started out as an honorable businessman, but he died a crook.
He had the ability to do an absolutely perfect impersonation of an honest man.
Diana Enriquez interviewed Madoff in prison for her book, The Wizard of Lies.
As long as the market allowed Bernie Madoff to look like a genius, he traded honestly. When the market no longer cooperated, he cheated.
Madoff created a Ponzi scheme that lasted for decades, using the money from new investors as supposed returns for existing investors.
Whenever I go down to Washington,
Madoff's investors, about 5,000 organizations and individuals, lost approximately $20 billion in cash and $45 billion that turned out to exist only on paper.
Madoff was 82. Last year, his lawyers filed papers to try to get him released from prison, citing the pandemic and end-stage kidney disease. Prosecutors near Minneapolis are expected to decide today on whether to charge a former white police officer in the deadly shooting of a 20-year-old black driver, Dante Wright. Family attorney Benjamin Crump tells CBS this morning.
The duty weapon weighs 2.6 pounds. The taser weighs 8 ounces. The taser has a very bright yellow strip on it. The gun is all black. She did not have to even tase this young man.
Brooklyn Center officer Kim Potter resigned yesterday. So did the police chief. Critics say Potter should have been fired. President Biden is expected to announce today all American troops will leave Afghanistan by September 11th, the anniversary of the terror attacks in the U.S. Florida's Republican Senator Marco Rubio says he's worried the Taliban could regain power.
If they do, I think it's almost certain that al-Qaeda will return to Afghanistan and will use it as a launch pad for terrorist attacks against our country, our people, even potentially here in the homeland.
Federal health officials trying to reassure Americans a day after states stopped administering Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy tells CBS.
These pauses are actually common when new vaccines and drugs are rolled out. So this is not unusual. We're just doing the due diligence we need to do to make sure everything is safe.
6 Americans developed a rare but severe blood clotting disorder after getting the shot. 1 died. Dow up to 11. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
There are times when it's hard to ignore that you may have a gambling problem. Like when you're at the casino and you've withdrawn the maximum amount from your ATM.
Withdrawal.
Leave the tables, yet you don't know how you're going to put food on the table.
Credit card denied.
When you can't seem to pump the brakes on gaming and then can't fill up your gas tank.
Transaction denied.
When you're so invested in gambling, you're not able to invest in your future. You're robbing yourself and those you love of a better life.
Approval denied.
Don't deny there's a problem any longer. If you or someone you love is struggling with a gambling problem, we can help you win your life back. For free confidential help, call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-7117 or visit michigan.gov/problemgambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the one because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WS.
It's 48 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Bay County has extended its local emergency declaration. Here's more from WSGW's Rick Antonio.
Following extensions in Saginaw County and several nearby cities, Bay County commissioners approved an extension of the current declaration through July 13th. In a Bay County Health Officer Joel Strauss shared with commissioners the department will also be halting the use of Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine in clinics countywide following recent side effect concerns.
We are pausing some of these clinics. We are moving forward with some others utilizing the Pfizer vaccine if necessary. We know that we're probably going to have a job to do with outreach and education. Some people will be extremely hesitant with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I'm fairly confident when they do the review, they will determine that it's safe overall to use.
The emergency declaration extension was agreed upon by commissioners unanimously as a way to continue meeting virtually while COVID-19 case numbers in the state continue to remain comparatively high. Rick and 5 and 790.
The city of Saginaw has closed Ojibwe Island to vehicle traffic once again. Park grounds will remain open to pedestrians for recreation. However, gates will be closed to vehicle access after several reports of excessive pollution, noise, and vehicles causing damage to park grounds. In addition to necessary caution during the recent surge in COVID-19 cases, residents may continue to use the area for walking, biking, jogging, fishing, and the many other activities available there. The city manager, Tim Morales, released a statement saying they continue to see large groups of people, and the gatherings are becoming a health and safety issue. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. In uncertain times, rely on All A's to keep your vehicle running its best and your family safe. All A's offers vehicle pickup and drop-off, takes payments over the phone, and offers after-hours key drop to limit face-to-face interaction. We want you to feel safe when doing business with us. That's why All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Automotive and transmission repair have the assurance of their customers.
All A's staff was very courteous and competent. They quickly diagnosed the problem and fixed it. It was done before the promised time.
I appreciated the fact that they were upfront with cost and consistent with price as quoted.
Every time I've ever had any vehicle out there, you guys have always done an amazing job with it. Thanks.
In fact, more than 98% of All A's customers would refer family and friends. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 2.5 miles from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. A crowd of protesters gathered in Lansing Tuesday to protest 39 elections proposed by Michigan Republicans. The bills were filed by the state Senate on March 24th. Senators said the package would make it harder to cheat but easier to vote. The proposals impose new voting rules that would include restricting the time voters can use absentee ballot boxes and banning local government from including prepaid postage for absentee ballots. Opponents of the bills protested, saying the Republican legislature's interest in these so-called election reforms is nothing more than a partisan power grab that will restrict access to the ballot for many Michiganders. A congresswoman from Detroit is calling policing following the deadly shooting of a black man in Minnesota, saying she's done with those who condone government-funded murder. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer calls Rashida Tlaib's comments disgusting.
People that want to go on the bandwagon as far as doing away with police officers and not supporting police officers, it's a sad day. It's a sad day for law enforcement, and I've been in law enforcement for over 50 years now, and I've never seen it this bad.
Dwyer says there would be a complete chaos if police forces were defunded and disbanded. He adds that Tlaib's comments will likely lead to protests against the Detroit area. A group, in Allegan County Republican is hospitalized with COVID-19 after attending a district meeting in Portage. Jason Watts, who's also the treasurer for the 6th District Republican Committee, says at least 4 attendees and potentially many more tested positive following the meeting. Watts says there were 69 attendees in a meeting space that should have held no more than 40 people, and he counted only 3 wearing masks. Watts says the people in charge didn't care about their well-being, and most of the meeting goers do not believe in the vaccine. When you see News W Newsroom 752-0798. It's 1110. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll have gradually increasing cloud cover as highs warm to the upper 40s. We'll have west-southwest winds 5 to 15, gusting in the 20s. For tonight, chance for rain and snow during the overnight hours. Cloud cover 34 for your low, and west winds 5 to 10. Thursday, rain and snow showers early on, and then a chance for rain during the day. Cloud cover 48 degrees for your high temperature. We'll jump into the mid with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Thaluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 48 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And welcome to another edition of Focus. I'm Art Lewis, working a day ahead of myself here. Took Monday off, and now every day of this week I think is ahead. I don't know why. Today we are going to talk about a company I am familiar with a little bit. I have a keychain that is one of their hand carts, a little Magline hand cart. The company is called Magline. It's a little north of here. We'll find out more about that as we talk to the Director of Marketing, Paul Adler. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning, Eric.
I'm carrying around occasionally the little tiny hand cart.
Well, sometimes you have to move those little things too. So.
That's true. I was invited up to see your operation. One of these days I'm going to have to do it. I'm fascinated by it. Give us an overview of Magline, what it is and what it does.
Well, our company is Magline. Our brand, what people are familiar with us for, is our Magliner hand trucks. So you mentioned your keychain, but we've got full-size models too, whether you call it a hand cart, whatever you call it. We've been manufacturing them up in the Standish, Pinconning originally area since 1947. It's the lightweight aluminum products that you see UPS using, and Coke, and the beer distributors, and food service. It's really the number one brand in the country.
How many versions of the quote hand truck are there?
That's a great question. Our products can be built to order. There's so many different variables. So there's actually 4 million ways you can configure a two-wheel hand truck with all of our options. Yeah, it's crazy.
So a company that has a specific need can custom design, or have you custom design a hand truck for them then?
Absolutely. Yep.
I have to ask this question, particularly during COVID-19. It takes people to manufacture these things. How are you doing with staffing?
It's a challenge. We've had a very strong, last couple of years have been very strong, and going into COVID a year ago, we dealt with a lot of the issues many did in terms of manufacturing and keeping staff. And we're considered an essential company because our products are used to deliver everything from oxygen tanks in hospitals to those packages that are showing up on everyone's doorsteps, to the food service. So we were going into last year challenged to find people to keep manufacturing, help us manufacture our products. And then we had a slight slowdown and things started really picking up, and it's been a challenge ever since.
Yeah. It's interesting because I first came in contact with Magline at Saginaw Valley State University during one of the employment fairs. That's where I first learned about Magline as a company that I didn't even know existed before that, and started learning about your products and realized that you're really I was going to say nationwide company, but you probably send products overseas, don't you?
We are, absolutely. We are global. We have dealers, throughout the world, predominantly in the United States. But yeah, you'll see our products everywhere.
What's the history of it? How did the company get started?
The founder of the company was involved in magnesium sales in the airline industry, magnesium. And he was in an airport, I believe it was an airport, and saw them using an old-fashioned type wood handcart.
Oh, wow.
Kind of heavy and bulky. He thought, there's probably a better way of doing that, using this lightweight material. So that's really the product started with more magnesium, hence the name Magliner, and then getting into more of the aluminum products, which again is a lightweight, easy to work with, very strong and durable product. And from there, it's been a company that's continued to innovate and own the market.
And aluminum, while it's easy to work with, not so easy to weld, is it? It takes skill to do that, doesn't it?
It does take skill, for sure. For sure.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're talking to Paul Adler. He is the director of marketing for Magline, company up in the Standish area. We'll talk more about that when we return here on WSGW. Time now to play the WSGW Spring into Cash contest. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is zebra. Zebra. That beautiful animal with the stripes is a zebra. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner is chosen each day. You must be 18 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Spring into cash on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. And we'll be back with Paul Adler. More about Magline when we return.
The time has come to ask attorney Jerry Wright another question or two. First of all, a power of attorney. Is that enough for my estate plan?
Many people think having a power of attorney or a will is all the estate planning they need. While these two legal documents are important, they may not be enough for an effective estate plan.
Well, why is that, Jerry?
Well, let's look at what each of these documents actually do.
Okay.
A will is a letter to the probate court identifying who gets your personal and financial belongings, which is important after you pass away. A legal or financial power of attorney grants authority to someone else to make these decisions for you while you're alive.
Why isn't that enough?
Well, first, it's essential to also have a medical directive which grants authority to a person you trust to make healthcare decisions on you. Second, a will may not be sufficient to protect all your assets. Third, depending on each individual situation, you may need all of the above plus one or more trusts or limited liability companies.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerrywrightLawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 today.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart rate, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your cousin from Boston. New Sam Adams Wicked Easy is light and wicked easy to drink, which means it's wicked easy to call up some buddies for a little day sesh. So, wicked sorry I'm late. Sam Adams Wicked Easy. Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Drink responsibly.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios. News Radio WSGW 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. We're talking to Paul Adler, the Director of Marketing for Magline, a company that makes hand trucks and the like up in the Standish area. Paul, do you make any products that are consumer-driven, or is it all commercial products for business and industry?
It's primarily professional grade industrial products. Though we do see products in consumers' hands as typically products in their job, and they see the value and they want a quality product, and they purchase them for their home use. But we're predominantly a business-to-business company.
And where are your products sold? Who sells your products?
We actually sell through multiple sales channels. We have a dealer network of over 400 dealers, again, throughout the world. We sell through catalog accounts, everything from a Grainger to a Uline to, we consider a company like Amazon a catalog account. We sell through our website, magliner.com. We sell direct through, and then we have a team of, we call our Magline Fleet Services. It's kind of like the Snap-on tool model. They have a truck, they have inventory, they do sales and service, and we're currently doing that in 15 major markets throughout North America.
Wow. How many hand trucks do you turn out a year up there?
You know, I think you're going to ask me that. It's thousands. I mean, a traditional two-wheel hand truck, we're probably going to be 15 or 20,000 a year. And what's amazing is they last forever. Replace a wheel or a bearing or a nose plate, but it's not like they're disposable. So we really wonder where they're all going. It's pretty amazing.
You don't have predictive replacement then, huh?
No.
You don't build in the self-destruction after 10 years or something like that.
We don't. And what's also amazing is because there's the form before the break, we don't have any finished inventory. Every product is built to order. There's no way we could inventory that many products. So
wow,
the order comes in, and typically within 48 hours it's going out the door.
So if someone is interested in employment in Magline, what do they do? Where do they begin?
The easiest way is go right to our website, magliner.com. We have a careers page. We are also on Indeed.com, which is obviously a popular website for looking for a job. And we've never had the positions open that we have open now, not only in the manufacturing for everything from mentioned to CNC operators to just assemblers. We've got warehouse opportunities. We've got customer service, engineering, marketing, purchasing. We're growing, and we're having a challenge finding people to come up north every day, and in some cases south, and move their career to Magline.
And you're not alone. That's the issue today is employment, isn't it?
It is. It's a challenge for sure.
That's a huge challenge, and you would think after the pandemic people would be chomping at the bit, but apparently not. So
it's a locally owned business. It's made in America. I mean, it's a quality product, a good reputation. So that's why we're doing things. We're doing more radio advertising. We're doing some outdoor advertising. We really just need to get the word out because Standish is a small community, and we know we need to reach out farther to find more people to jump on board.
Yeah. And you bring up a very important point. You are an American company with an American-made product. You don't move your production overseas, do you?
Absolutely not. We have a few components that are sourced But, most of our components are sourced in Michigan, and we have some products that we're bringing in-house to make with the CNC machines and lathes, and using technology to build more of our own parts under our roof. But again, that creates more positions that we need to fill, and we want to have control, and we want to employ people here. So it is a challenge.
Well, Paul, listen, I want to thank you for spending some time with us. Again, the website, give them the website again.
It's magliner.com, and careers listed there. And I really quickly wanted to say, going into the break, you talked about zebras having stripes. You can tell a Magliner because it's got a red stripe.
Ah, yes, that's so true.
You see them on TV and in movies. Look for the red stripe. You see a Magliner.
There you go. Paul, we'll talk again. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Art.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Paul Adler with Magliner and the Director of Marketing. We thank him for joining us today. We'll take a break, come back, close out, and move on to Baird & Company, find out what's happening in the marketplace.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
The West Branch Chamber of Commerce and Alpha Media present the Digital and Social Media Marketing Seminar Wednesday, April 28th at 2 p.m. Our professionals will explain the latest trends in reaching new customers and how digital marketing and social media work together. Sign up now and receive a free report. Take place in your business category. Go to WBACC.com or call 989-345-2821. That's 345-2821 to sign up for the Digital Marketing and Social Media Marketing Seminar on April 28th at 2 p.m.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. It identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And that'll do it for Focus today. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will talk insurance with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that's where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning to you.
Well, a very good morning to you, too.
How are we doing on this Wednesday?
Markets are mixed, but mixed in kind of a good way. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 220 points, putting it at 33,897. Volume there is 295 million shares. The NASDAQ is down by 52. That puts it at 13,945 on volume of 319 million shares.
Pretty rare to have that big a spread between the two indexes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been more often. It's been like that lately, but yeah, it's not super common. This is the kind of a day and a market that really points out the need for diversification. Because it was just a couple of days ago that the NASDAQ was up 150 and the Dow Jones was down 150.
Can't wait to hear your ticker tip.
You can't. Portfolio construction is what I was going to talk about. It's very, very important to have a framework set up before you start making investments to go into. You need to assess what your risk tolerance is. And if you're a married couple, it's kind of a good idea to work on together. It's not a fun dispute, shall I say, when one person wants rather aggressive and somebody else wants, basically money in a mattress. So you have to get that worked out. Then you have to take a look at the overall world situation, our country, the world, what is happening right now. That's probably the biggest trick in the book. Never quite seen anything exactly like this, or even quote vaguely similar. So it takes some real digging around to figure out what is working, what's not, why it's not, and why it is. After you've gotten through those easy tasks, then you can figure out how much of each thing you can put into your portfolio to have it behave, and then you just monitor it. And as they do their swings and gyrations, have built yourself a bit of a wiggle room in there, so that you're not having to sell and rebalance every day because something moved a little bit.
And how do you get some help from someone like you?
Well, you can call us right here at Baird and Company, where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can find us on the web at rwaird.com and look for the Saginaw branch.
All right, Steve, have a great day. We'll talk you down the road.
Sounds very good to me. Talk to you later, Art.
Bye-bye now. Our ticker tip of the day from Baird & Company and Steve Anderson. We thank him for joining us. Farm Service 790 with Farm Director Terry Henney. We'll be along right after these notes.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no contracts. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you. .com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Data usage limits vary by carrier. Spectrum internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. At a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the future. Sevia fungicide from BAS.
like a liquid.
Well, it is. Does it have any buttons or screens? It's a fungicide.
What's the battery life?
No batteries. But it is built from the ground up to navigate the ever-changing regulatory landscape and provides longer-lasting residual control. Experience the future with Sevia fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. It's the collectors. It's those credit cards you ran up trying to start your business. Now you found out that a DBA hurts the family and brings the pain home.
Do you remember hearing these commercials on radio? For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions. Call him the godfather of credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Take advantage of numerous tax write-offs only available to a corporation. Now you can meet Ray Reynolds on his daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, or call 800-490-4140 to find out more about his secrets to success in helping fix and improve your credit. Go to rayswebinar.com at 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. Monday through Friday and check out his free, very informative webinar, or call 800-490-4140 now. It's worth your time and you'll learn a lot. That's rayswebinar.com. 4140.
First pitch from Mize. Ground ball to second base. Underhand flip from Scope to Castro to first. They turn the 4-6-3 double play.
Beautiful.
They just got a speedy runner.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW. Only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A partly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Hey, not all that bad out there. We've got partly sunny skies. We've had some sun as we've gone through the morning hours. Winds have really picked up southwest right now, gusting to 32 miles per hour. And by the time the day is all done, we'll see a little bit more of that, more than likely approaching 40 miles per hour here later this afternoon. Now, the wind direction is going to be changing just a little bit. We'll talk about that in a second, but for the most part, it'll be a little bit more westerly as we go into the afternoon, because we're watching the movement of a real weak front that has drifted through, and a low pressure system, which is well up to the north of us, actually north and east of the Upper Peninsula. And with that counterclockwise circulation, it is going to be pulling some much cooler air down over top of us. But in the process, the winds are really going to pick up and then change direction. Tomorrow, we're going to be looking at northwest winds right around 10, 12, 13 miles per hour. We are going to have a wind chill tomorrow because those temperatures are going to be pretty brisk, probably about 47, 48 degrees. We're looking for a projected high here later this afternoon of 50. We're currently at 49. And again, we had mostly sunny skies. The clouds are going to just stop any much more upward movement of these temperatures. Right now here at Radio Center, we're at 51. Midland is currently at 46. Downtown Bay City is looking at 48 degrees. And as I said, a southwest wind gusting to 32. 44% is our humidity, and that's probably the reason why we're not going to see a whole lot of moisture. Much of the lower peninsula is very dry when it comes to humidity. It's the upper peninsula that we're getting a little bit more activity. And within the last 3 hours, much of the eastern half of the upper peninsula has been experiencing snow shower and snow flurry activity. And that activity has moved into Wisconsin, central part of the state there. So they have much cooler temperatures than what we have right now, and they do have snow shower, snow flurry activity that's moved from the Dakotas through the northern 2/3 of Minnesota and the Red River Valley into Wisconsin. And all that activity tonight and early tomorrow morning is going to be moving into the lower peninsula. That's why there is going to be the chance widely scattered shower activity and it will be cold enough tonight. It's going to drop down to about 35 degrees with the winds decreasing, but again, as I said, becoming northwesterly. So we are going to see some snow showers, snow flurry activity in northern Michigan, and it could spill as far south as the Great Lakes Bay area, in the morning hours tomorrow morning. I don't think there's going to be any travel problems, no slick roads or anything like that, but plan on giving yourself a little bit more time tomorrow morning, whether you're going into work or you have some place to go, because you could run into a slick situation here and there. High pressure over the northern Rockies. That is going to be the primary weather generator for us as we approach the weekend. That is going to keep us on the chilly side of things, below average. 56 is our normal high, 36 is our normal low. Today, up to about 50, tonight 35, so that's pretty close to average. Tomorrow, 48 for a high, so that'll be about 8 degrees below normal. 36 for a low tomorrow night. Then on Friday, we'll work our way back up into the low 50s, partly sunny skies. 38 degrees for a low on Friday night. Then on Saturday, partly cloudy, 58. Clouds around on Saturday night, 38. Sunday, we'll start off with some clouds, then some sun, and then a few more clouds around later in the day on Sunday, but no precipitation. 58 for a high, 38 for a low. Then on Monday, we'll move into the 60s, about 62, 63 with partly cloudy skies. On Tuesday, we'll be right around 60 as well. Now, long-range outlook to take us through the 27th of the month. On average, slightly below as far as the temperatures go, a little bit below as far as the moisture is concerned as well. 80 degrees is the record high in this state, set back in 1941. The record low, 19, set in 1943. A year ago, it was chilly. 40 was our high. 28 was our low a year ago, and we had a trace of snow a year ago today. Our high temperature tomorrow a year ago was 38. So, it did get a little chilly this time of the year a year ago, but then things rebounded. That, in a nutshell, is what the weather is all about. Incidentally, sun will set this evening at 8:19, rise tomorrow morning at 6:53. And I had somebody ask me, now, when's the next time we're going to see a sunrise right around 7 o'clock in the morning? That'll take place over Labor Day weekend. That'll be the next time we'll see a sunrise at 7 o'clock. From now until then, we're going to see that sunrise come a little bit earlier each and every day. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. This reminder, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Tri-County Equipment. You know your to-do list, compact tractor, you thinking about it? Well, hop on a 1025R tractor Yardmaster package, which includes the 1025R tractor, the 120R loader, and a 60-inch premium mower deck. You're talking 0% for 60 months financing, $275.47 a month at Tri-County Equipment. And they've got all sorts of tractor packages as well as zero-turn packages at Tri-County Equipment. Remember, when you're talking John Deere and Michigan's Thumb as well as Saginaw, Reese, and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. Cody Harris, what's going on the board today at Star of the West?
Well, good morning, Terry. It's a good Wednesday. Chicago, everyone seems to be in a good mood today. All markets are up in the green and kind of surging here midway through the week. Looking at everything the way they sit right now, we got cash wheat. That's up 18 this morning, 618 on the white, 583 on the red. Looking over at new crop wheat, that's up 16, 620 on the white, 585 on the red. Looking over at corn, cash corn is up 11 at 556. New crop corn is up 4 at 458. Looking over at soybeans, cash soybeans are up 18 at 1368. And new crop soybeans are up 12 at 1198.
Nice to see that upward movement continue from yesterday.
Oh, yes. It's definitely nice to see that, especially this time of year. Usually, kind of after we get that, end of the month report that we saw last week or a couple weeks ago, usually the market kind of settles down a little bit. Everyone starts watching weather, but it seems that, kind of traders in Chicago, we're hitting new highs here today. That's causing a little bit of technical buying on that aspect. And then with a couple little kind of weather issues, some dry areas throughout kind of the West and then down in Brazil, you're really getting the market surging in this morning, Terry.
All righty. Cody, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Yep, you as well, Terry. Thank you.
I will. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer is standing by. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. If you're looking for a new Ram commercial truck or van, now's the time to get it from a dealer that's been around since 1852. It's Ram spring commercial truck season at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. They know trucks and vans. So buy with confidence from a dealer where family and service sells cars. They are the Great Lakes Bay Area's certified ag dealer, Schaefer and Beerline. And by Quality Roasting of Reese, the makers of Exceller meal since 1991. It's a high bypass soybean meal to maximize your dairy herd's production. So contact your nutritionist or local feed dealer today and ask them about Exceller meal from Quality Roasting of Reese. Doug, good morning.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now?
We're looking at a bunch of dead bears.
Ouch.
Bears are dead.
Ouch.
The bulls rule.
Oh.
Okay, I guess, But crude oil's up 4.5% today, so that's a bullish indicator we don't like to see. And the grains, we got a new high in the December corn, so that's kind of interesting. What did it touch here? Got to 5.11 3/4, sitting at 5.08 1/4 right now. So here's your numbers. The May corn 5.91 3/4, up 11 3/4. The December corn 5.08 1/4, up 4 cents. May soybeans 14.08 1/2, up 19 cents. November soybeans 12.63 1/2, up 12 1/4. The May wheat is 6.47 3/4, up 18 cents, and December wheat 6.56 1/4, up 16 1/4. Crude oil 62.83, up $2.65. Heating oil 188.70, up 6.7 cents. Gasoline 203.70, up 5.7 cents, and natural gas 263.90, that's up 2 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.25.17 at the border, that's down 14 ticks. The yen is at 108.94, down 11 ticks. The euro is at 119.73, that's up 27 ticks. And the dollar's at 91.65, that's down 20 ticks even. Gold's at 1734.50, down 11.70 an ounce. Silver's at 25.42, that's down 1/10 of a penny. And platinum is at 11.76.50, finally turned around, up $19.40.
All righty. Doug, you take care. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. While I've got him ringing in, let's double check right now with Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Jerry, going to cool down just a little bit. That's not all that bad, is it?
No, I guess, people tend to like it a little bit warmer, but things were coming fast and furious with the things leafing out, and it gives us a little more time to do some things. So, particularly the transplanting of evergreens and, your perennials now too, if they're starting to pop up and you're starting to see them, because sometimes it's a little bit hard to find them in the winter when you've cut them back, but you can still divide some of those perennials, move them around, and a lot of yard work to do. Again, we don't want to be thatching that lawn anymore. We're done with that. We've greened up. And now is getting about better time for that crabgrass preventer. The forsythia petals are beginning to drop. now's a good time to get that pre-emergent down.
All right. Jerry, thank you. More tomorrow on the Plant of the Week. All righty.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. New parts for old tractors. That's what it's all about. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. They'll take care of you because they do understand how your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. Can't think of a guy that would definitely not want his tractor to stop running, and a few other things as well. Scott Dumas with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Scotty, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Boy, a lot of things have been popping. It looks like we're going to cool down just a little bit to give everything a chance to get a breath of fresh air. But I was looking at some of these crops out there. I am amazed at how good they look right now.
Yeah, the wheat looks exceptional. I don't know how many people we actually want to tell that to, in regard to the marketing. But, I was talking with my brother-in-law over the weekend, and he's got some bigger beets that are up and a very good fan of beets as well. So our crops are off to a good start here for middle of April.
And one thing that a lot of producers are probably asking about is with this early start, and as long as we don't have any bitter cold temperatures, the fertilization process and the care of these crops is going to be sped up just a little bit.
Yeah, so we've seen that push forward from what we would typically look at, probably 2 weeks or so from what we would call normal year, 2 to 3 weeks possibly. But so that's pushed the necessity to have product on hand up just a little bit and put a little strain on the system and particularly logistics and transportation. But we're working through it.
I know we're going to be talking to Joe Kramer here in just a little bit about that very thing. But one thing I'm kind of curious about is soybeans. I know there were a lot of soybeans that went in, well, quite a few anyway, that went in pretty early. How are we looking right now as far as soybean seed?
Soybean seed is in very good supply. So, if Kramer says that there's too many dry beans, then, come see us for some soybean seed because we've got it.
There you go. Well, I'm sure he's going to be asking about dry beans. So, yeah, we'll talk about that with him. But as far as you're concerned right now, it's a logistics situation. And what you're telling me is to tell producers to kind of plan ahead here on some of this.
Yeah, planning ahead, communication is always critical, and it doesn't matter what we're doing, but communication on needs and upcoming needs is definitely beneficial to both parties.
And all your operations are running full bore right now, I bet.
Yes, sir. Everybody, we had a call this morning, and everybody's getting it done right now. So,
never a dull moment, is there?
No, not at all.
Especially this time of the year. Scott, thanks a lot for sharing. Really appreciate you taking time to talk to us today. We'll talk again. All righty?
Have a good day.
I will. Scott Dumas with Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with 868-4444. Farm Service brought to you today by Foster Blue Water Oil. They want you to take your diesel to another level because you will get more power. Cleaner injectors, maximum lubricity, year-round protection, and up to 8% improved fuel economy with Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valve Tech Petroleum. Foster's got it, so just contact the local Foster rep near you or go online, fosterbluewateroil.com. Executive Director Joe Kramer of the Michigan Bean Commission joining us right now. Joe's report brought to you by the folks at the Michael Sarkrop Insurance Agency and Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. Morning, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Terry. A little chillier.
A little bit. Hey, we were talking to Scott Tuma about a number of things pertaining to you, so I know your ears were ringing. But one thing that he is making sure that people understand is the concerns and the problems we have right now with infrastructure in agriculture, especially here in Michigan.
Yeah, I had a chance to be listening, and I heard my buddy Scott, and I appreciate everything he's saying, but the issue is pretty broad, in fact. So whether you're bringing crop inputs into the state, or if you're trying to export black beans to Mexico for right now, transportation and logistics are a nightmare. And so we've got boxcars that normally would ship from the Thumb and arrive in Mexico City in 25 days. That are now pushing 100 days. The cars are stuck on our side of the border, and we can't seem to get them across. That limits empty car availability to load the next one. So it just kind of keeps backing up. We've got the exact same problem, whether you're going east or west by container. We can't get empty containers to load product in. So our shipments our sales are strong, right? Dry bean sales continue to be strong, but shipments are being limited by logistics issues, and that's just gonna sort of constipate this market a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yep, it sure does. Joe, always good to talk. You take care. Have a great day, okay?
Thanks, Terry. You too.
You betcha. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the future. Sepia fungicide from BASF.
It looks like a liquid.
Well, it is. Does it have any buttons or screens? It's a fungicide.
What's the battery life?
No batteries. But it is built from the ground up to navigate the ever-changing regulatory landscape and provides longer-lasting residual control. Experience the future with Sepia fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment, talking about Farmall tractors, 30 to 105 horsepower, an army of attachments. Those Farmalls will tackle every chore on your to-do list: hauling, mowing, toting, lowing, and then some. So see them for yourself today and get a great deal too at Weiss Equipment, 450 North Main across from Kroger and Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
Stone Specialist Studios. This is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Master Ponzi schemer Bernie Madoff is dead. Officials say he died in prison in Butner, North Carolina, where he was serving 150 years for ripping off investors to the tune of almost $20 billion. Diana Enriquez wrote about Madoff.
He constructed a remarkable form of a very old fraud and put it on steroids.
More from correspondent Steve Kathan.
Bernie Madoff defrauded thousands of investors out of an estimated $65 billion. But what was perhaps most shocking to clients like Norman Brayman was that they could not believe he was a swindler.
When my wife's sister passed away, Bernie Madoff came to the funeral.
Madoff family members say they were also deceived. His sons turned him in to authorities. In March of 2009, Madoff pled guilty to fraud, theft, and other charges.
The disgraced financier, without looking at his victims or up from his written statement, said he was so deeply sorry and ashamed, and that I knew what I was doing was wrong, indeed criminal.
One of his sons committed suicide. The other died of cancer. Bernie Madoff was 82, suffering from kidney disease. A police officer in Burleson, Texas is hospitalized after he was shot during a traffic stop near the local high school. Police Chief Billy Cordell.
Multiple shots were fired by one of the three occupants inside the vehicle. The officer was struck multiple times.
No update on the officer's condition. Police have locked down the neighborhood as they search for the gunman. President Biden is expected to formally announce complete U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan by September 11th, the anniversary of the terror attacks. CBS's Holly Williams says there are worries the move will backfire.
The fear in Afghanistan is that U.S. troops leaving will open the door to more chaos and more bloodshed and hand even greater power to the Taliban and their harsh Islamic rule. The group actually controls more territory now than it has at any time since the U.S.-led invasion in 2001.
CIA Director Williams Burns has just called total withdrawal a significant risk. The Biden administration has begun an effort to undo a Trump-era ban on clinics that refer women for abortions and a policy directive that made it more difficult for them to get birth control. Women's groups call it a gag rule and say it violates the doctor-patient relationship. A star of ABC's The Bachelor, former NFL player Colton Underwood reveals,
I've ran for myself for a long time. I've hated myself for a long time, and I'm gay.
He tells ABC's GMA he's now the happiest he's ever been, but apologizes for misleading the show's contestants. The Dow is up 210 points right now. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want the ability to adjust your loan options in real time, Rocket can.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
49 degrees at 12:03. Good afternoon. I'm Ann Williams. As the U.S. is recommending a pause in using the single-dose Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine to investigate reports of potentially dangerous blood clots, it shouldn't have a big impact in Michigan. That's according to Ingham County Health Officer Linda Vail.
It's only been coming in for just a few weeks now, so it's only kind of been part of our, grand strategy of planning for a little while, and we don't have a lot compared to the allocations we've been getting of other vaccines.
As COVID-19 cases have been surging in Michigan recently, and the CDC director said Michigan should shut down